I enjoyed it too. And plus you get to, or I don't know why we decided to go to the theaters to watch it, but I figured me and my friends are all Asians, so, support the Asian
Yeah,
superhero. I don't even know
like
anything about Shang-Chi, like from the comics or anything. I just know the
yeah,
name.
I don't know anything about like the story behind it. No, I enjoy like going to the theater because like the sound and experience is just so much better, I guess.
Yeah, I could kind of focus more on the movie.
Yeah, yeah, because you're paying for it and you're like, oh, I must pay attention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bigger screen, louder sound. It is pretty
and
expensive though.
it is. It's like what, like $15 a ticket now to get in, or
Yeah,
like
for like the basic seats.
a regular movie. Yeah, like a IMAX 3D. I think it's like 25 or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's 25 now?
Yeah, man.
The last time.
For the really fancy
Pretty
ones.
soon
Yeah,
you're gonna have to
Yeah.
pay for installments, pay it in installments for a movie ticket.
Oh, I hear we're getting one of the fancy like VIP type theaters where they like even serve you food and stuff.
We already have
Yeah, it's
one of those in the south.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
is
is
it
it?
the
The
North that's getting
VIP.
one? I heard there's gonna be a new
yeah,
one.
yeah. The north one is the university one. It just opened yesterday, I think, or today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that fast.
it's in the. I think it might be by Market Mall somewhere, something like that.
Wait, is it the one that's in that? Is it a landmark?
Yeah, man. It's right beside the mall.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I watched Star Wars there.
I'm gonna have
Oh,
to.
that one beside Market Mall or something? Like,
Yeah,
oh, okay. I've seen it, but
yeah, I
I
didn't
had
realize they
to.
were gonna be all fancy.
Yeah, I saw it like during construction, and then I was there 2 weeks ago getting my AirPods replaced, and yeah, I saw it. I'm like, oh, didn't even know.
Well,
Yeah.
when I
That's,
went in there to watch Star Wars, it didn't seem like it seemed like a just a usual theater, just had popcorn and the usual candy stuff and then normal theaters. I
no,
didn't know
I
they were
think
gonna have like a food serving thing there.
I think they did some renovations now and kind of upgraded it to the VIP end.
Oh, okay. It doesn't look very big though.
It didn't seem very big inside.
Yeah, it looks from the outside, it looks quite small, but I would assume it's probably like all like VIP experience.
All the food that you order at the theater is just gonna come by
Mm.
DoorDash.
Ooh, that means you can get anything from anywhere. Thanks to DoorDash. Download the app now and
Shut
get
up!
a
Shut up!
free.
No, no, don't do anything until we see money. Don't do anything ever.
We're not getting paid? I thought we
No,
got the deal.
no, you're just whoring yourself out for free right now.
God damn it. Wait, we didn't do the intro thing. Do we still do that?
Yeah, we should. Well, we should. Although I was just thinking for the last couple minutes. I'm like, all right,
Cold open.
now that we've let out our location, should I have we said
I thought we
anything?
did that. We did
Have
that
we said
tons of
anything
times.
controversial for anytime recently?
No, we've done that tons of times. I
We've let it.
remember
You know,
through the years.
I've beeped out some of it.
Because I remember
you have?
Brian specifically
beeped out.
saying the city name a few
I've
times
beeped
before.
out a lot of when we've let like each other's like last name slip or like
We've said last names.
yeah.
We've
but-
said last name.
What?
Yo, and then I had to beep out like the stampede. I was like beep stampede.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I remembered being a topic before.
I've been very diligent. All right, now the cat's out the bag. I guess I don't give a shit anymore. Unless one of you
No,
decides to just
Most
go
of the
full.
people that listen to it are like your friends anyways, so they already know where you are.
And look at this
And
service. It's
once the what's that?
no. Go ahead. It's okay.
Oh,
Just
I was just gonna say, yeah, like once you guys get sponsors, they're gonna know where you guys live, or like the
you
city at least.
you put us on too high of a pedestal.
Once you get sponsored.
Yeah.
Hey
Like-
man, you guys have like consistent. You put out episodes pretty consistent.
Are you
Not at
kidding
all.
me?
No. Zinson's the most consistent of us all by far, and even then, it's been like months in between episodes
I gotta
lately.
take vacations and shit.
I don't even remember how to do the post production crap. I
God
barely
help you
remember
guys.
like
God help you
posting
guys.
stuff.
One day
I
when I'm like killed, you get this show's done.
I fear
That's
the end
probably
result
true.
of this the end result of this will be Zin Zin just talking into the void, like
This will be my
weekly.
last episode.
What if it becomes famous after he dies?
Well, that
It'll be
kinda
like all those
sucks.
artists and
I'd rather
musicians
become
that
famous while I'm alive.
yeah, that's the dream, but you know, it doesn't happen for everyone.
All right, let's introduce the show. Welcome everybody to the newest episode of this illustrious show. And today is a special episode.
You didn't even say the name of the thing, the show.
They know it.
Do they? All right.
You can say it at the end. You can say it after. I'll just splice your voice into it.
Yeah, use one of the old recordings.
All right. Anyways, yes, we have a special one today because today is Fan Appreciation Day, and to appreciate our fans, our friend of the show and a friend in real life, Joe.
No, just say he's a fan. It makes us seem more popular.
All right, anonymous guy that I've never met before in my life, and none of us.
He's a fan. He's a listener.
Yeah, a fan.
He's a real one.
Yeah, we bring on fans. This is what you get. This is the perks you get when listening to the show. You want to come onto the show, you get onto the show. We're like one of those bands where like the groupies where we will actually fuck the groupies. This is exactly the same thing.
I'm the only one that's not like married and stuff.
No,
I'm not.
He ain't either.
Well, I mean,
You
of
guys
this,
can marry each other.
the core cast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the co-hosts.
Yeah, B Money should be actually we're recording now, so we can't let out personal details. He is redacted.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
No, he's gonna get married soon. Redacted. All
All right. Good stuff. Now that we're all caught up with the introduction and everything, we might as well dive right into our main topic.
Hey Joe, yeah. For the special show that we got for you today. Oh, B Money just joined. For the special show we got for you today, we've planned nothing, so the stage is yours.
Well, as a listener of the show, is there any topics that you actually want us to talk about or expected us to talk about?
No expectations. Just here to
That's
have a good
good.
time.
Great,
Just here to have
great show.
just
exactly
here to
what
have
we need.
Yeah, just here to have a good time and just talk bullshit.
Yeah, Brian's here. Brian, you've met Joe before, right?
I've met Joe before, yeah.
All right.
Many
We're
times.
pretending that he's a totally anonymous fan, so it seems like we're giving perks to all our listeners that are loyal fans.
It doesn't help that you keep saying we're pretending.
I'm not pretending at all. I don't know him. To me, all I know is he listens to the show, and his name is
There you
Joe.
go. For Jason, all of this shit is real.
This is real. As far as I know, he's a fan. If he saw me in real life, he'd freak out and be like, "Oh, can I get a picture or autograph or something?" And
I've heard your
I
ass is
keep
famous.
living
Can I
in
get a
that-
piece of it? Jeez.
I don't think that's. I mean,
You're gonna have to. Man.
Maybe.
He's a fan.
I said maybe. I'll think about it.
All right. Don't even think about it. Just say yes when he asks.
No, I have to think about these things. It's
I
not
don't
like signing a
think so.
contract.
I think the more you think about it, the less you'll be inclined to do it. So I think you should just take a deep breath and do it.
Or I could do the
Yes.
opposite and just not do it. Wait, this is all assuming that he even wants to do
The
this.
opposite would be you not taking a deep breath and just
You're making
doing
assumptions about Joe that you don't even know.
it. He wants to do it, and then you will not take a break.
He's here. He can speak for himself.
You know what? You don't even get to take a deep breath. You will go into this with no breath.
Okay, good. I'd rather be dead while that's happening.
No,
if
you'll
it were
still
to
be
happen.
alive. You just won't have the.
Why do you
advantage.
wish such terrible things upon me?
I want
But
you
I
to
Jason-
haven't
live.
talked to you in months.
I want you to live and give your piece of ass to Joe.
I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemies.
This is how
I'm
the
not wishing
bullying
it upon
starts.
your worst enemies. I'm wishing upon our loyal fans.
That's
Yeah.
Terrible
Let,
for
let,
him.
let a fan get a piece of that ass.
There you go. See, he wants it.
Horrible
What
ass.
do you want?
I have not worked out or anything, even casual exercise, since COVID. So it's all like flabby and gross, and
That's just the way he likes it.
Oh man,
Perfect.
Joe, you're kind of gross.
In fact, this entire fan thing was just a
How
setup.
did he get
actually, he actually just wants to come and tap that ass of yours.
How did we approve of him getting on the show?
Unanimously.
Was there no vetting process at all?
Unanimously. You even voted for him to be on the show.
I
We need
just
to
got
hire
a
producers.
I just got a random invite one day, you know.
Yeah, the anonymous fan that we don't know, we all voted him to be on here to tap your ass.
Why did I decide to come back on the show?
'Cause you like it. it gives you meaning in life.
I could be,
secretly wanna
just
give up
playing
that ass.
games or something right now, or sleeping, eating my dinner, whatever.
Well, that is that would be what we all do every day as normal people, yes.
Yeah, but I could be doing that instead of this.
So anyways,
You could do it after this.
well, yeah, you could do this after. Like the post-show activities that you're going to enjoy with Joe, you can do that at the same time. As he's inside you.
Let's move on to our next topic.
We have no topics.
So, how about that Germany?
What about Germany?
They
Rising
It-
COVID numbers?
something.
I think only Germany just has a rise in COVID numbers. That's about it. They're just restricting their people's freedom again.
All right, man.
That blasted my ears, but alright, I have to forward.
All right, man. Brian, what topic do you have for us today?
I mean, there's several. There's the was it Rinbom case that people seem to be really invested in.
Oh, shit.
You know what?
We want to go right into it. Joe, you want to talk about written bomb today?
Sure.
Who's written bomb?
Written bomb.
I was thinking it was like that popcorn or whatever.
Redenbacher.
Is it?
Yeah,
Orville Redenbacher. Yeah, we can
Is
talk
it
about
written,
fucking
right?
Redenbacher.
Same thing.
Very different.
Oh, sorry. I think it's Rittenhouse, maybe.
Written
Yeah.
Shooting, right? The
Rittenhouse
shooting?
sounds- The shooting.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
shooting.
Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Orville Redenbacher
Right.
shot some fucker.
Orville Redenbacher.
Written bomb. Nice.
Now
Yeah.
people are
Well,
mad. We don't know if we should
what-
buy the popcorn anymore.
What's
Are we
so
sponsored by
special
the
about
popcorn?
No.
what's
Oh.
so special about this case? Like, it seems like everybody is really interested in the verdict, and they're also afraid of it because it might cause protests. I'm not exactly sure what's the case.
The case is they're Americans. That's why. They only Americans care about this shit. Case
I
closed.
suppose. Because it's like a case about self-defense, right? Where he had a gun and he shot people.
Yeah,
and-
but it's a case.
But was it self-defense?
I don't know if
yeah.
it was self-defense.
One side will
But then-
say the side
Well,
that,
what decided? Mm-hmm. Go
one
ahead.
side will say the conservative side that backs him says it's self-defense, and the other side that doesn't back this is, why did he bring a gun and go to the riot in the first place?
And then their evidence is like the most zoomed in, pixelated video, where you could barely, like, the characters are like polygons. You could barely tell what's a gun or what's a person. And then they're like, and then they're like telling Rinbom or Kyle's like, let's watch it again. Do you see? You point that gun at him, and then you're like, you can barely tell what's going on in the video, but they're really hinging on that video evidence.
But everything that happened before the video, the fact that he was a 17-year-old who drove across state lines to be there with
AR-15, yeah.
an AR-15. I mean, you can't say, "Oh, I just stumbled upon that scene and suddenly I was the victim."
Well, it's America, man. Everyone has guns. You can't just because the gun sounds impressive doesn't make them any more guilty.
You see, the way they're doing it for this defense is basically they're making it sound like the dude is just like sitting at home taking a shit, fucking reading comics and shit, and then people come in to start wanting to kill him, and he shoots them in self-defense, and they say, "See, he had to defend himself." But
Yeah,
the thing
that's
is,
exactly the picture they're painting.
except
But
it falls apart because he was out there with his rifle in the middle of a riot, saying shit that he wanted to get in. He basically wanted to get into the action, gave
But
some
what if
BS.
we don't have enough evidence to prove him?
Oh, for sure. Like for sure, I don't think he's gonna get in for first degree murder. But
Because I feel like the evidence is very weak and circumstantial at best. Yeah, there's a lot of circumstance that makes it sound like he's guilty, but nothing is really hard evidence that we should put him in jail for. Like,
well, they're trying to charge him for first degree murder, right? And first
Right.
degree, I don't think like this is quite ambitious for first degree murder. But like if it was such, I don't know, like it would have been like manslaughter in any other place, right?
Oh, you think? Okay, so if he's to, you don't think he deserves first degree, but maybe more like manslaughter?
I have not devoted any of my brain reserves for this at all because it is just sloppy, wet fucking noodle of a thing. You don't want to get into it.
Well, I think it's like one of those cases where it's like, is it better to wrongly commit someone to a crime, or is it better to let a killer go free, kind of thing, right?
This is not. You know what this is? This is not just because of the case. This is completely just two sides like fighting each other. It's like
which side and which side?
It's like the two sides of America that make up most of the votes, but actually really matter for nothing. But they like I said, they can't ever resolve any of their real problems. They can only reduce themselves to arguing about things. They always have to find something to argue about. This is the latest thing they're finding something to argue about, right?
All right.
Who actually gives a shit? Honestly.
Well, actually, let's ask our panels. Does anyone give a shit? All right. Well, moving on.
I just read about this as you were talking.
You can talk about it, but I'm just saying like it's become a big deal because they've made it into a big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there's another one that people made a big deal, which was Squid Game, where wealthy celebrities are hosting their own Squid Game, and then their fans of those celebrities are calling them out, saying like the idea of Squid Game is that people are so poor and so desperate that they're willing to play a game to win a bunch of money to get out of that life.
Yeah.
And like for rich people to host their own Squid Game is like the irony of what the show is called.
They just because they're just doing it.
Wait, are people actually gonna die for it though?
No, I forgot what celebrity they were, which celebrity, but they're like dressing up as squid people and they're running these games, and it's just for fun, it's just for clout and entertainment. But at the same time, the whole concept of Squid Game or what the show was made was commentary on the rich and the poor and the inequality. And because rich people are hosting these games, it's almost like it depends how deep you look into it. Like if you take it personal kind of thing, if you think it's like bad taste that rich people are playing Squid Game kind of thing. I think one of them is Mr. Beast. I think he's gonna make a video on Squid Game where what he does is usually make up these games and give cash prizes to a bunch of people and stuff. So, but generally people see Mr. Beast as a generous person.
He was already primed to do Squid Game for his entire career.
Yeah, and that's what he does too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I read about that. Yeah, so Mr. Beast, he's actually like recreating one of the scenes, or like the red light, green light. He's basically recreating that entire
that
set.
Right?
Yeah, in like a warehouse, and it is yeah. So he did mention it's going to cost him like $2 million to do, and he's like asking people to help fund his project. Or, like,
I imagine
like,
so. You have
donations.
You have to buy all those guns and the ammunition as well.
No, he generally just gives people thousands of dollars. Like, and they're usually average people, like fans and stuff. So he's actually a very generous person. Because a lot of he spends a lot of money on making his videos, like millions of dollars, but he also recuperates a lot of that because he has about 20 million subscribers on one of his channels, and he has like millions on other channels. So altogether, he makes quite a bit just from YouTube alone, and like sponsors and stuff. Like, because he's running another campaign called Team Seas, which is trying to remove garbage out of the ocean, and it's like a donation drive that he's running, and it's second project to his success project, which he did Team Trees, which was to plant, I can't remember how many trees, like maybe 3 million or 5 million.
No,
is he a sponsor? No, he's not a sponsor.
Give him more of a shout out than I did to freaking Skip the Dishes.
Yeah, what the hell, Brian? Stop giving fucking coverage to people that are way more famous than us.
We don't need coverage.
He's absolutely making more money than he's losing on this, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if he's losing money, then he wouldn't be able to continue, right? That's the challenge. Like, you want business to make money, because in order for them to continue, they need to make money. Otherwise, they'll stop.
Hey, all our one
but
listeners.
It's obviously like not a charity or anything like that.
No, I never said they were for charity. I just said he gives away money. But in return, he probably makes it from these game shows, right? I mean, it's the same as American game shows. Like, when you watch those, like, I don't know what you call them, like Ninja Warrior and all that stuff. Like, they make money off those productions too, right? And those contestants don't get paid anything if they don't win the grand prize. Or reality TV is the same idea.
I don't think it would have been too surprising that rich people didn't get Squid Game. or they're trying to make their own Squid Game.
If they make their own Squid Game, it's like no one's life is on the line then, so there's nothing at risk for the contestants.
They're just
like, what, is there an issue?
They're doing it for the.
They're just doing it for the. Yeah, they're doing it for the clout.
It's for clout, yeah.
But you know what? I would applaud the first guy that just stays true to the actual source material and fucking starts and kills them and kills the contestant.
Yeah, that I'd be more interested in. That's actual news.
Then I'll be like, wow, kudos to you.
Yeah, they actually took on Squid Game as it was.
Wasn't there a movie on that? It was like, I forgot what the movie's called, but the premise was he puts a video up, and the more views it gets, the more toxin that goes into the victim's body. And then he like shares the video, and then people are seeing this horrific video, but then they can't help it but to share with other people, which increase the views, and then eventually kills the guy.
Yes, I remember this movie.
Yeah.
I believe it was called
I know what you're talking about. Moana.
What was it called?
Moana.
Moana.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like the serial killer captures the person and then live streams like their death. Like the more views, the like the torture gets like harsher and harsher, I guess. And once it hit a certain number of views, they just die, kind of thing.
Would you feel responsible if you watched that video? You're like, shit, I'm one out of a million people who
you probably
killed this guy,
or at least most people. I would.
Yeah, you contributed to this guy's death or this person's death.
Yeah, like 100%.
So then the killer wouldn't have to feel so bad, right? Because he would feel like, hey, I'm sharing this burden with 1 million views or 1 million people, right? So then, I guess you could, you wouldn't feel as bad as a killer.
Why would the killer feel bad about it if he's the one doing the killing? He wants to do it.
He's not the one doing the killing. It's the viewer.
He is, though. Everyone is. That's the point.
He set up the contraption, but he's part of the equation, but he's not the only one doing the killing, I should say.
Yeah, he sets the trap, and then it's the view count that triggers like the next phase of.
Yeah, but he puts it in motion. He wants to.
Yeah, it's like putting someone in endangerment. It's
it's like
you're still at a fault.
It's like your loving grandma's not going to be like, oh, I'm only this way. I'm only a nice person because I don't want to be fully responsible for murdering someone. But if someone can share the burden with me, for sure, I will kill them.
I feel like people do that. Like, how you feel like, oh, if you want dessert, you're like, oh, I'm too full. But if you want to share, I'll get a dessert with you. It's kind of like that. It's the same idea.
I know, but eating dessert is a little bit different from murdering someone.
From killing someone.
Please explain. Change my mind.
God.
You see,
because the video's sole intent is killing someone, whereas having dessert, you're just having dessert.
Very honestly, when it comes to you, I really do feel like we should explain.
Yeah, I've started to get that feeling.
It's 100% necessary that we do explain the difference to you. So
it's not a joke.
So you can advance in your mimicry of being a human.
So I think he's trying to say he actually wouldn't feel as much guilt if he were in that same situation.
No, because you're sharing the burden. Like, you aren't solely responsible for their death. So.
But you are still responsible.
You're partly responsible, yeah. But like, if you're sharing with 1 million people, it's kind of like global warming or like littering or like, landfills or homelessness, all that problem. Like, we all contribute to it, but because we are a small piece in the whole contribution, then we don't feel as better.
But this is more of an active thing where you actually see the person live. You see the individual, you know about him, you know the immediate consequence, and you are putting yourself out of your way to actually do it. It's like voting for him to die.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you just ignored it, it takes less effort and everything, and he'd be fine.
Perhaps. But what if the person deserved to die? Would that change it?
Yes. To a degree.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Death Note, where he's killing criminals, but he's still at a fault.
Oh, in Death Note, there's a lot of rules in that book, right? Like, so the premise of Death Note is you write a name in the notebook and it kills whoever you write the name of. And then how like they have rules like, oh, if you don't specify, they die of a heart attack, things like that, right?
Yes.
There's a rule that can make you invincible, where if you try to write a name 4 times and you miswrote it, then whoever you're trying to kill can no longer be killed by the Death Note.
Okay, I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it.
What?
Yeah, it's like,
really?
There's a rule.
Oh.
Yeah, but you have to unintentionally make the mistake. Like, you can't write your own name and misspell it 4 times to make yourself invincible. You have to like intentionally try to kill someone, but kept making a spelling mistake kind of thing.
That's the most dumbest rule. You imagine just like,
so how would you trick someone into
I'm trying to
doing
kill
that?
this guy named Michael, but I can't tell if it was the one with the the
Is it A or EA?
At the end, the motherfucker had a silent B in his name, so I guess he's invincible now.
Yeah, just legally change your name to something obscure.
Or like he's like writing the name down, but he's so nervous that he's shaking as he's writing it, so the penmanship is like not legible.
Yeah. Also, yeah, exactly. How neat does your handwriting have to be?
Yeah.
So
it didn't have to be that neat because he wrote people's name in blood. So,
well, I mean, like, it has to be neater than like a doctor's note, right? So if you're like family doctor got the death note and he tried to write down a name, well,
the way the note works was you have to think of the person as you write the note, so that people who share the same name, you don't accidentally kill the wrong person, kind of thing.
All right, then you don't.
Well, you have to like think of their what they look like or something.
All right, then you don't
like
really have
to. Yeah.
Then you don't have to.
So then, what does it matter if you write their name incorrectly?
Yeah, just
if you're
fucking
thinking of the
Yeah,
person.
because you're already thinking of that person in your mind.
Yeah, but if you write, but the note needs. But that's part of the rule. The note needs you to write the exact name. That was the thing.
Yeah, but you could just scribble like what
the fuck. No, he couldn't, because if he could have done that, he would have killed L right away, because he didn't need to know L's name. If all he had to do is think of L, right?
I think you're getting too invested into a cartoon.
No, I'm just saying.
Well, I'd agree with
the rules
Brian on that point.
The anime, you have to know the name. You have to know the name.
You're getting too invested.
As far as writing it and everything, like legibility, then that's like a gray area. That's like loophole. But
well, it's the gods, right? It's like the Shimigami gods. They just want to be entertained. That's why they create these death notes. And there's also their way of.
How would I kill like a random Chinese guy, even if I knew his name, but it's written in Chinese and I don't know how to write?
Yeah, well, if you have the eyes, you could see their name and then you could just write it. But anyways, that was another thing. But yeah, I mean, that in Death Note, there was an obscure rule that people don't know. Here's another really obscure thing I learned. Kryptonite. We know that it weakens Superman, right? But the common kryptonite that we see is green. Yes. But there's actually other colors of kryptonite.
Oh,
and have you guys heard of the pink kryptonite?
I have a long time ago, so I don't remember what it does.
This one I thought was interesting, but it turns Kryptonian homosexual. That's what the pink one does.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I'd believe it. This is
Yeah.
during like the Silver Age or something. You're super
It
old.
was
so-
2003. It wasn't that
Oh,
old.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's,
I thought
2003.
they had that like
that's the
super old.
shit.
So Clark Kent suddenly lost interest in Lois Lane and started hitting on Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen.
Oh,
What
God.
about
Or
that?
because of the pink kryptonite.
I can't believe
It-
this was like a dilemma.
Jimmy Olsen's not even attractive. He could do way better.
But yeah,
Like
Pink,
best friends
man.
with Batman. But I know like
I-
there's like a ton of other ones. Well, green and red are probably the most well known. But there is a kryptonite, I think it's like silver or something, that can give people Superman powers essentially.
Yeah, I'm looking this up right now, and there's like 32 colors.
Yeah, there's tons.
Wow.
Oh man, I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which,
there's like
This is what happens
like
when you
artificial.
when you get comic book creep.
Well,
there's
the
like
reason
oh wow, okay.
the reason I started learning these obscure knowledge was I've been watching this game show called Actually, and basically it's like a game show about geek culture, like movie, sci-fi, fantasy, things like that. And the way the game works is the host will read a statement, and then it's up to the contestants to find what's wrong in the statement. And generally the statements, or generally the error, are usually like pedantic errors, like they're very like minute, small errors. But they're like, I don't know, it's like an interesting game because like one, it teaches you like what are the common misconception of characters that we think of or have, and then and also like teaches
And
me
then be
these obscure
pompous
ideas.
to correct them.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the whole idea of the game show, which is kind of crazy, or
Yeah,
which is kind of
sounds
good.
right up your alley.
Yes, exactly. It's
So did
entirely on
you
my-
learn any other interesting facts from said show?
I learned that in Game of Thrones, when the Lannister says a Lannister always pays his debt, that's not their official like slogan or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
they
Hear
mentioned
Me
that on the
Roar,
show.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hear me roar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they rarely say that in the show. They always say Lannister pays debt, but that's not their.
Yeah, that was in one of the first episodes because Arya or whatever was getting a lesson, and that's
Mhm.
a mistake she makes, and then they point that out.
Oh, okay. Well, if I only watched the first episode, I guess.
Yeah. This is why your method of acting watching shows failed you this time.
I thought it'd be something like, oh, in the books it actually is this or something, but
Yeah.
that I remember, and that was in the show because I haven't read the books.
Another one was a Pokemon question. It was like dragon type Pokemon are weak against ice and dragon attacks, and dragon type Pokemons are one of the rarest type. Some example of dragon type Pokemons are Dragonite and Charizard. Then that was the question. And
Charizard's
then,
fire, and well, I only know it from the original, and that didn't have dragon types that I recall.
no, Dragonite was the original. It was
No, I know
the-
Dragonite was in the original, but it was a type.
Oh, the type. No, Dragonite
Yeah.
was original, and he was dragon type. I think he was the only dragon type in the original 150.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. Charizard is not a dragon,
Yeah,
even
it's
though he
fire
looks
flying that I recall.
most like a dragon kind of thing, you know.
Isn't he a salamander or something?
Something like that. yeah, I think.
Charmander was.
Yeah.
Charmander was also a fire type. He wasn't dragon. But yeah.
That's the first form.
And then there was this one I sent to Adrian, Zinzin, which is like these 9 dating sims. And then one of them was incorrect. And the dating sims were like Jurassic Heart, or there's this dating sim where you try to date a sentient printer. There's a dating sim where you go to like a high school at Pigeons, and then there's dating sims where you're a female and you're trying to date tanks.
I've heard
Stuff
of
like
the
that.
pigeon one.
Actually, Vincent, you should totally play the dating sim for tanks.
The one for tanks. Why should I
Yeah.
play the one for tanks?
I feel like you are the most suited for that because you collect fighter jets and stuff.
And
They're
tanks.
completely
He
different from
has a-
tanks. You motherfucking bigot. You think we're all the same?
I feel like you guys would be the
Is
same.
that-
Made an assumption.
Is that
Did you
why
just
you're trying to-
assume his preference?
Yeah, did you assume that I like collecting tanks? You
I assume that you would do well in a
piece
tank
of
dating sim
shit.
based on your knowledge of fighter jets.
This is the worst. This is already the worst.
Okay. The other obscure knowledge, well, not obscure knowledge, the other obscure news I heard was Russia launched a missile to prove to the world that they could shoot down a satellite in space, and it caused a bunch of debris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's kind of a dick move because, at some point, you know how like we're shooting rockets to the Mars? At some point, we might not be able to leave Earth because there's too much debris. That's
Don't worry, you can
screwing
just
with
shoot the
us.
debris out.
The debris will be
Four
too
head.
small, dude. Yeah, 5 head play. Well, if you plan it right, you could try to like get most of the debris to fly into the atmosphere and burn up.
Or vaporize it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, this is in the news because it's Russia. That's basically it.
Wait, what? Vaporize it? That seems like a lot of effort to try to clean it. Isn't it better to just collect it and move it?
Well, I thought they would like try to like shoot a different rocket and try to push the debris into the atmosphere, so it just kind of burns up.
Mm-hmm.
But I did read somewhere that there's like 5,000 pieces like everywhere.
Yeah, regardless of satellites blowing up, there's already so much space trash just floating around the planet. And mind you, already there was already like prior tests of satellites being blown up by the United States in the 70s.
Yeah, that was Russia's.
When they were doing their anti-satellite tests as well. So I mean, like, most of that garbage is still floating around and spinning around outside in the world.
That was essentially Russia's argument that U.S. has been doing this stuff before.
Well, the actual argument is the United States has unnecessarily just started ramping up tensions again. Like, they've already signed a whole bunch of shit back then to limit missile tests and nuclear tests, right? The reason why they're doing it recently again is because the U.S. has basically reneged on all of that shit. So they're like saying, okay, well, shit, then we gotta do tests again, you know? So, like, that's the larger thing is, like, yeah, Russia didn't do any of these tests for a long time, right? And they could have, but they didn't. And there's a reason why they did it now. And the United States is, pretty much, it's pot calling the kettle black sort of deal. And if everybody wanted people to stop shooting old like satellites for target practice, then there is already a precedent in history. You just gotta do that all over again. And that means that is just basically like, hey, let's not start fucking shit up.
That'd be an idea.
But no, we have to fuck shit up. It's a favorite pastime, everybody, to fuck shit up.
Ah, yes, the American mindset.
The American dream. Fuck shit up for everybody.
The dream.
Dream.
Anyways, is that all that Brian came today? A couple obscure things. Thank you for your service.
I hope Brian goes on the game show that he spoke of.
I feel like it would be a good game show for him.
He'd even use that tagline of like, but actually, and then proceed to make the correction.
Well, he does. He's not okay. He's not exactly like that kind of person,
Yeah,
But
no.
actually, he's like a different subtype of that. So if it was like evolution, Brian split off from the main branch of the actually people like a couple million years ago, and then he like evolved in his own way of actually. He does have his own way.
It's like a hipster kind of way.
I don't even know
before
what
it was a thing.
I don't even know what to describe his as. His is a very unique one. It's like one of those birds that evolves. It's like one of those animals that evolves independently on the Galapagos Islands. Brian has his own little niche of action.
His own evolution line.
I don't know where he went. Once he comes back, he can probably explain to us what's wrong.
His family history.
I'm guessing he has to go take a dump.
I'm guessing washing dishes.
I want to think. No, washing dishes is it's so like.
He's
not
done it before.
exciting. No. I want to say that he just shat himself, and now he just rushed to the washroom to wash off the shame.
To assess the damage.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe this happened again.
And it's just exploded all over the walls.
He sharded. He thought it was a fart.
It was not even much.
It happens to everyone.
It was less of a shit and more of like a grenade that was cooking in his ass.
Oh, it just went off.
Just
Oh, what the... Oh my god.
Did that term sharding, did that originate from Along Came Polly? That's what I remember it from.
Yeah, that's where I learned it from.
That was a pretty crappy movie, but it came up with that term, so it must mean something.
Is that where the term started?
Yeah, well, that's where I learned it from.
Yeah, but I thought it must have been in the lexicon before that, but maybe not. Yeah,
maybe. I'm not sure. I only heard it there. So
yeah, I heard
so
it there
strong.
too.
It was so
but
strong,
they like
it changed.
defined it and everything in that movie.
The culture changed forever after that. As a movie, it didn't do well, but as like a cultural signifier,
it gave us the sharp.
Yeah.
Such a
Speaking of crappy movies, I hear they're making another Avatar live action.
They didn't learn from the first one, apparently.
No, Netflix is
it
working
seems
on
like they can't do any worse, right?
They the only thing they learned about this time was to cast Asian people.
Yeah, so far that's all I know about it. They did cast an Asian dude,
and not to have like M. Night Shyamalan direct the whole thing.
Well,
that's probably a big one.
With the Netflix live action series that they're working on, they had the original creators signed on in the beginning, but then they left. So I don't know if it has some elements of there still remains, or they just like kind of start with their brand new vision with the new.
Wait, so they had the original writer on board for it?
There's two of them.
Yeah, the two of them.
Yeah.
But then they backed out?
Yeah.
Ooh, that can't be good.
Well,
but then again,
those two writers did do like Legend of Korra, and Legend of Korra was a hot steaming.
Yeah, I couldn't even finish it.
Yeah, so it's not like they're gonna be producing bangers from their own thing now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I also heard that J.K. Rowling was asked not to be part of some new Harry Potter thing that they're working on.
Yeah, I read that today too.
But that's like, was it something that's to do with the original cast too? Like, I don't know what that project is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like a. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's something like, you know how they had the Friends reunion thing. I think it's supposed to be something like that, like bring them all back and.
Oh yeah, I heard they were doing that, but I didn't know if that was the project that this is for.
Oh, I thought that was the project they're talking. I'm not sure unless there's another.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Potterverse project.
But then, why would they ask J.K. Rowling not to be there?
Just because of
there's no creative thing going on. I know, like, she screwed up the whole Harry Potter universe stuff with all the crap she tried to add on, like the whole toilet thing and making certain characters gay or something.
What toilet thing?
Oh, toilet thing.
How there's no toilets in Hogwarts or whatever. And they just used to use magic to make the crap disappear. You haven't heard of that?
No.
It's like, yeah, Hogwarts and that like magical community, they used to not have toilets. Instead, they used to just take a crap like in a corner or something, and then just use magic to make it disappear.
So you just see a bunch of like just randomly turn a corner and see a kid squatting there and
Probably.
just finishing up and missing it away
I
or something.
guess.
Very honestly, that is much more likely in that magical world than just installing toilets. You know, if you had the magic to fucking flush everything away or get rid of all the shit, you probably do that. Why would you need toilets?
If you could do it with magic, if you could do it with magic, why even do the act of shitting? Why couldn't you just like make a spell on your gut and have it just disappear from your gut?
I guess it's like everybody needs to shit, and like maybe if you're a skilled wizard, you can like completely just empty your bowels by magic. But most people still need to shit. Some people are not that good wizards. I'm guessing, but you know the whole thing is you can make a magical toilet box thing, right?
Yeah.
You just shit into a black hole. You can do that. That's why. Yeah.
And there's random wizard turds flying around in space.
And the portal actually goes into this other guy's mouth that really likes it.
Yeah, knowing magic must be one hell of a thing.
There's a portal that just like dumps all the shit right on the back of like Snape's
One
house
really
or something.
unlucky dude has to do it.
This is why Snape would never smile.
That's why Voldemort doesn't have a nose.
Yeah. Oh yes, that would be canon. There you go. The whole
He's
thing
just burned off his.
Yeah, exactly. And then be like, and then they'll end up on one of those websites. 10 things you didn't know about Harry Potter. Voldemort doesn't actually have a nose, and this is deliberate. And all it has to do with the shitting debacle.
I had to Google to make sure I wasn't making it up, but yeah, it's true. It's on the Pottermore website, J.K. Rowling explained how wizards poop. And there's an excerpt about the Chamber of Secrets that says wizards didn't need toilets because they simply relieved themselves where they stood and vanished the evidence.
There you go. With the magic. I think it would be much more effective if they just had a magic toilet. Magic toilet
like
all the
It doesn't
kids.
even have to be a toilet.
Like,
It's
could you
still
imagine
good.
just like walking to your class and then like with your friends and you're just like, hold on. You turn the corner, you just drop trow and you're just taking a dump on a pillar.
And you forget your wand, so you can't even make it disappear.
Yeah, you're like, how do I wipe now?
That's what you.
I guess
yeah,
it's
how
just
did-
magic. Yeah, how do you?
Yeah,
I
but
guess
what
you
if you
wipe.
forget your wand? Then you're screwed.
Or well, you go out drinking, and you get fucking shit faced wasted, and you just shit yourself, and you don't have your own faculties at hand, so you don't do the magic to clean yourself up. You just
They must have magical janitors,
you
right?
just walk your shitty ass home, leaving a trail all the way up your stairs and climb into bed.
The walk of shame.
Do you think being a janitor would be a good job in the Harry Potter universe
I
then?
don't
Because
think
you could just use magic to like clean everything.
I feel like being a janitor in the Harry Potter series would be like the best job.
They have
'Cause
a
they-
janitor.
like,
Easy, right?
Like everyone else would just use magic, like you said, right? You shit, a flick of your wand, and it's gone. So
They have a
There's not
janitor.
much
They
use.
have they have a janitor. He didn't.
Do they?
Yeah.
Hagrid?
No.
Hagrid was a...
no.
The guy with the fucking
Hagrid wasn't the.
Filch,
Was
Fitch,
Hagrid
or
wasn't
something. It was,
Oh, the guy that was with the evil lady?
yeah, the really.
He just seemed like a
scowling-
handyman kind of thing.
Exactly.
But he was more of an asshole, just hung up those plaques of the rules or something. That's all I remember him doing.
I remember him like he had to do janitorial stuff. He basically was like was basically the janitor of the school. He didn't know any magic.
Oh man, yeah. They had the what was Dobby, an elf or something?
Yeah.
They had to do all that
Yeah.
crap. They knew magic, but it seemed like you had to do everything by hand. Magic people are, what do they called it? The wizards and stuff. They're pretty mean in the Harry Potter
Racist.
universe. They are actual races that they look down on. Hagrid was looked down on, and he was like half giant or something.
Oh, for all of B Money's fans, he had to go. The shit, like, it was a disaster. He needs to clean everything. So
Yeah, laundry has to be done, has to get the upholstery
he
cleaned,
has to
and
call insurance and
And it got on his phone and stuff, so he has to get that cleaned out and
Am I
stuff.
covered for just completely plastering my walls with my own feces?
You can't even put those
mind?
electronics in rice to get it dry because you just get, dried crap.
That's disgusting.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
could you
Poor guy.
imagine could you imagine cleaning shit off your phone? Oh my god. That
I
would
think
just
if I
be-
ever drop my phone in the toilet, it's just done. I just gotta get a new phone.
Yep.
What if it was like a brand new phone, like top of the line iPhone 14 or 13,
Yo,
and you're playing with it, and you're about to flush, and then you just drop it in a massive pile of shit. Would you still
It's
get rid of it,
gone.
or
It's dead to me.
oh yeah, okay.
I take it to the Apple store and be like, "Can I just get a new one or something? I'll pay a bit."
There's no stakes.
You're with
No
you're
questions
with
asked, right?
You're in the 30-day warranty period or return policy, I guess.
I am
I
not.
guess you could just,
My
like-
phone's like a year old, but yeah, I'm just gonna try my best. Be like, "Hey, can we just swap this out, please?"
How about this? You see, there's no stake in that for you. Yeah, because you could just swap out the phone. Here, how about this scenario? You're traveling through the Congo, during the middle of a civil war, and you drop your passport in the toilet. Would you still retrieve it to leave the Congo?
I guess in that
Yes.
case I would have to.
There you go.
If it's a life and death thing, then yeah.
There you go. See, easy. You want Jason to reach into that toilet and touch his own poop? That's how you do it. Otherwise,
I'm in a life and death
I
situation.
think I've had to do that for poo sample when I was a kid.
Otherwise, just wait till like some random Saturday that he always does this of his own accord.
Oh, that's not Saturdays. That's
All
Thursdays.
right, it's Thursdays. Why not Fridays? Why do you make it on Thursdays?
Because that's the weekend. I don't want to work hard.
That's why they call it thirst. That's why they call it Thirsty Thursdays.
Yeah, that's exactly why they call it Thirsty Thursdays, because Jason...
How does that have to do anything with thirst?
I don't know.
Now I'm worried about what you're doing right now.
I have 3 pieces of sushi in front of me that I don't really feel like eating anymore.
All right, don't eat it then. Go,
I'm gonna eat it. It's salmon. I can't just stop eating salmon.
go put your hand down the toilet. it's the day.
There's people in Africa that would love to have the clean water in our toilets.
They would. It amazes me all the time. I flush the daily drinking water down the toilet, literally.
It's insane. We use so much water just to dispose of our waste, and then that's all clean water. That's like potable.
Yeah. You know what? Like, I would. It would make more sense if they could do it with salt water without it just eroding your toilet.
Yeah. Such a shame. The person who invents the technology to do that for like very cheap will become rich.
And then he will become a huge asshole, just like all these other rich guys.
What was the thing with Elon Musk? Did the UN actually send him like how to solve world hunger or something like that?
Fuck, that was
Yeah.
that was the. Yeah, let's talk about that. That was the most cringiest fucking thing I've seen.
That was cringy. I was
Yeah.
actually on Elon Musk's side when they first said like, "Oh, since you're so rich, you could cure world hunger with that. So why don't you do it?"
I was on nobody's side because.
Well, just like the arguments, like, okay, provide a plan of which the money can actually solve it, then I'll do it.
I don't think that plan ever came out.
No,
did it?
they provided one. I mean, they put out a plan, not directly to Elon, but they put out a plan of how the 6.6
It would be to
billion.
help world hunger, but it wouldn't
Yeah,
solve
it-
the problem.
They can't end it.
It was.
No, they
it's
can't end
impossible.
it.
It was.
Yeah.
It was even more bad because the guy that was like in charge of the UN food program is just responding to him in a tweet, just like a total bitch. Like the whole fucking thing should have just been like, "Shut the fuck up, Elon." But this guy had to be.
True.
This guy had to be just acting like a little bitch. Oh, here you go. I'm gonna respond to this tweet. Elon, let's have a conversation about. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's what this world's come to, though.
Jesus Christ.
The only way you can make contact with all these people is by using like social media and making
It's
it.
it's usually just Twitter, isn't it? Like you call them out
Yeah.
on Twitter, and then that's how you basically start a fire.
It's over. Like if you wanted, this is why like last episode Brian touched upon like climate change or something, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're probably fucking done. And then he was like, why are you so pessimistic? And then I'd be like, this, because of this. Because of this happening. It's all over. It's all over. You got fucking oh my god. You got literally like a guy that is like the real life Bond villain who plays the part, who would gladly play the part of a real life Bond villain too. Basically just saying like fucking like debate me, Lord. Debate Lord me. Let's do it. And then the UN World Food Program guy, the guy that's supposed to be, you know, in charge of the job of somehow fixing this, just grovels on his knees and starts drinking right out of his balls. Like this is.
So he's trying to get some like he's trying to get some attention from it all.
Like that's the whole thing. Like why? That like that he's been reduced to this. It's all over.
True.
It's all over. Like one of these days, you can just imagine like you have real life Gotham City, and then you know like you'll have like some rich mogul that's not Bruce Wayne, but the rich mogul will be like, oh, try to convince me to fucking donate money to save the city from crime. And then Commissioner Gordon and whoever's like, oh, I'll do that. I'll take up this challenge. Gets on his knees and sucks him off to try to get more funding for the Gotham Police Department.
Didn't solve the problem, but it didn't hurt.
It's over. It's all fucking done. These guys are not gonna be. These guys are not gonna be the answer to anything.
I think the UN guy. I think when he responded, I think he just said like he responded to Elon and he just said like time and place or something. I think that was like the first response.
Look, man, no matter what you said to him, he was just gonna fucking debate Lord his way out. Okay, like that's what people fucking do on Twitter. The whole point is like you don't respond to fucking Twitter. Like if the world was actually functioning the way it was, it would literally just be like, yo, shut the fuck up and fork it over. That'd be it. And then Elon would be like, okay, you know what? Yes.
Yeah.
I'll please take as much as you can, or else, you know, like I don't want to face the consequences of not handing over, fucking distributing this shit to save the world. You know, like that would be it. Instead, you're seeing this on Twitter where, literally they're just fucking. This is the worst thing. This is just you want like real life. Cringe, and real life Twitter real life just showing you Twitter is just this imaginary place that has sucked everybody in. This is it.
But even Elon and all these rich Bezos and all of them, they're just delusional idiots, honestly. I think like
exactly
this whole thing about settling Mars and stuff. It's not going to happen, no matter how much Elon pushes for it, or Bezos, or whoever gets their rocket out into space first. I mean, this whole billionaire space race thing that started during the summer, it was all bullshit. It was basically a dick measuring contest between all these billionaires, like who can get there first. It achieved nothing for humanity. They talk big about getting to Mars and stuff like that, but literally all they did was go into the upper atmosphere.
All they did was just take like NASA developed technology and just like commodify it basically.
No,
and then made
big
mogul moves. That's all.
Yeah, what they did is equivalent to, you know, the rich guy in your neighborhood taking his hot rod out in the summer for a drive on the local highway. Like literally that's all they did, except they got their hot rods funded by the government and by NASA and everything, and didn't even have to spend like dime of their own money. And now they're charging. Their idea is commercial space travel to charge people to fly into space for bullshit.
Get a seat.
Like yeah,
you see,
yeah, like a seat.
Yeah, exactly. And they're always going to be dicks. Of course they're going to be dicks. You're not going. You'd be an idiot to expect them not to be dicks, right? The worst thing about all this is just like they have legions upon legions of fans that really.
That's the thing. The legions of.
Yeah, exactly. That that believe that they're saviors. They're like the best thing that ever came about.
That's what I mean. These legions of fans that think that Musk is going to get them to get everybody to Mars I mean, first of all, that's a freaking daydream. It's not going to happen in our lifetime. It's not going to happen in Elon's lifetime. It's not going to happen in the next 50 years. It's not going to happen in the next 100 years. It's not even going to happen in the next 500 years. You can't create a human settlement on Mars just like that. Like that's right now, and I think for the foreseeable future, that kind of idea is still relegated to science fiction. It's not going to happen in real life. But these guys, the way they paint the picture of being able to, oh, we'll be settling Mars and humans. That's the next step for humanity is Mars and all that. Like that's just to sell their own products and to sell their own vision.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to. Yeah, it's a marketing scheme. They're not going to make anybody's life better other than their own. Musk, especially. I was in the beginning when Tesla started up and stuff. I was on Team Musk, but it's more like Team Fuck Musk now.
Oh, when they sent the Roadster up, like around that time frame, or
No, actually, there was a time when I thought, like, remember when he had the cameo in Iron Man 2 and they tried to position him as the real world Iron Man at that point? Like that was the thing going on back then.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, the real world Iron Man, blah blah blah. But then it came to a point of not giving a crap about him anymore. But now I'm like physically like on the
just
revolted by
Physically sick.
Yeah.
You know,
and this started mostly just this summer, like with this whole space race thing and all that. Like I was like literally, it's all marketing. Everything he says about humanity needs to go to Mars, and it's all bullshit because he knows it's not going to happen. But he's convinced a legion of fans, literally, that think that he can do it and he will achieve it, and it's all for his own gain. And I mean, it's not going to help humanity in the least. Sending out rockets,
that's the whole deal,
so you can feel weightlessness for literally a second and pay 28 million or whatever for it, and then come back down and be like, oh yeah, I went to space. Technically, the upper atmosphere of Earth still in a SpaceX rocket or some bullshit like that. Like
for less than a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's all.
Yeah, man. This is people. I don't know why exactly. I don't know why exactly, but people want to believe that when they see someone like this, like a rich mogul guy, they automatically want to assume that he's Tony Stark or he's Bruce Wayne, right? They automatically assume this is the protagonist, this is the hero of whatever story that they've made up in their own minds and that they're already set on, right? But real life, like people don't turn to be like Tony Stark or Iron Man or all these guys once they've like amassed that much wealth, had to like struggle that much in their own like fucking whatever industries to whatever gulp to basically grow bigger and bigger and gulp down everything that was in competition to them. This produces people like this, like without fail all the time, right? Like Lex Luthor is the more accurate representation of what kind of people this entire society churns out at the top of the ladder of success than someone like Bruce Wayne or someone like Tony Stark, right? And it's telling too because like to make it believable, like it's for their origin stories in the comics, to make it believable, they had to like introduce some sort of trauma or something that just like
a tragic past,
something that basically weakened that is that gave them a very big weak point, that gave them a very big handicap, sort of like some guy that like someone that was born with health problems, or if someone that was born with like some kind of condition, like you can't use your legs, you don't have an arm or whatever, you are inherently confronted with something that most people aren't, and that is a helplessness, right? And what I think it's most of the time when people have some kind of like very big I guess debilitating weakness or something, or some disadvantage that they never asked for but they have it. That's when they realize that no, in real life you can't be this type of person that just takes everything and then just says like, oh, the people that don't have anything, they deserve it because they either don't work hard or they're not of the superior stock or whatever, it automatically dispels all of that from you, because like life is literally, it's you don't decide any of these things. It could just be handed to you. Like at any given moment, you could be at the receiving end of confronting this, like this weakness, this debilitating disadvantage, or like this your own mortality of something, right? You realize that everybody needs to basically fucking, like, you need help from people, right? And the way that they do it in Batman or they do it in Iron Man is like, Iron Man gets that injury around his heart that, he could die any second or whatever. Batman loses his parents as a kid, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The richest guys in the world, they don't turn out like that. These people that are made up in comics, these are like I'm willing to bet that there's actually not that many people out there like that. And if they are, they're not even in the top echelon. They're not like Bezos rich or Richard Branson rich. Like these guys that make that either get rich off subsidies or inherited money or fucking just, placing fucking the right bets and, like having an airline or whatever the shit. These guys are not going to turn out like what you think Batman is, like a vigilante that fights crime.
No, these guys who are worth like 200 billion now, these aren't the saviors of humanity. These like this, the only way you can get to like 200 billion or $250 billion is by having like literally no conscience, like being like there's no way you can, and then to shill this lame excuse or dream of I'm doing this for humanity because humanity needs to go to Mars and all that shit is a complete garbage. They're doing it to line their own pockets. Like it's not going to make anything for anybody.
And I feel like most of the people, I feel like a lot of critics of Musk, a lot of critics that have Musk and Bezos and these guys, I feel like a lot of them were like you, like they used to look up to these guys, when they were younger, because it would be something that they thought it would be cool, right? And then when reality kicks in and you see like shit's getting worse for everybody, but shit's getting so good for these guys, right? And they just they, instead of doing anything about it, like you would think like a Bruce Wayne or a Tony Stark would do, these guys just have dick measuring contests with other rich people instead.
No, like even I think it was Prince William who said that, like how much money they spent, these guys Bezos and Musk, on this recent space expedition, if you can call it that. Like if they had spent that on like welfare programs or given it to welfare programs in their own respective countries or whatever, they could have fine. You can't remove hunger or remove poverty, but you could have helped it. You could have dampened it, take it down a notch. Maybe at least for the next year, maybe every kid in America would have a meal instead of spending it on flying to the upper atmosphere and calling it space. In
a penis-shaped rocket.
Dick-shaped rockets.
Yeah.
It was like the Austin Powers rockets. All of them.
Gold member, yeah.
Wasn't that part of the dick measuring contest?
And you can see it in things like their acts as well. Like Bezos, he took Shatner up there, and then Shatner came back, and they were having an interview right there, and he's trying to comprehend what he's just experienced, and he's trying to find the words to explain the enormity of it all. And Bezos is there showering him with with champagne. Like he broke open a bottle right there, and it's like because for him it was a media stunt, like to get Shatner up into space. Because,
it just generates him more money.
Yeah, and then Shatner is there thinking, like, trying to comprehend what he just experienced, and he just it's stupid. Like it's literally, I mean, like I said, I was a fan of Musk like during that, right when Tesla started, like 2009, 2010, and the comparisons they were making.
Well, I mean,
when they
Iron
first
Man.
came out,
Yeah.
I think most of the people, when they were, like, if you're enamored with Tesla, in the beginning, it was because of, it's an understandable thing where when you're thinking, hey, this is a good thing to have electric cars, right? You want to replace eventually gas guzzling cars, right? Like electric cars, like that would be part of the future, and that in itself is it kind of gets to the root of like this whole makeup, because like Tesla basically survives off of public subsidies, right? Like if you're American, you pay tax basically for Tesla to be alive, right? Like 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 most of Musk's profits, or the fact that he could bear the costs of even having Tesla and then funding everything else, a big chunk of that does come from like government subsidy. So it's basically like at some point maybe the society could have done something right, right? Like they may have did it in the right direction. Like, hey, we're gonna set aside a bit of money to fund like an electric car company, right? And it's a good thing to do. It's going in the right direction. But what ends up happening is basically you just make this one guy this instead of like doing a big dent, and now the world is all cut off fossil fuels or whatever. Instead of that, fossil fuels is still omnipotent, but instead you just have like Musk that is now so wealthy off of this company, off of the public money with the intent to basically have this technology be more better and do good for the world, right? Instead, all you have is him getting like just exceedingly rich off of it, to the point where now he can have like fucking ego fucking events, ego shows with other billionaires, right? Like it's I'm not surprised why people would feel like betrayed by this. If you were, because when you start off, if you're a young impressionable person, yeah, like and when things weren't getting that noticeably bad for the middle class or whoever, you would view this as this could possibly be a good thing. But later on, when you see how it actually turned out, and it's like, oh, it's not like for my benefit or the people around me, it's not for their benefit either. It's really for the benefit of this one fucking guy, right? And then instead of like saying like, like, hey, Elon, you basically got rich off of the public. It's not really by your own bootstraps, pulling yourself by your own bootstraps. Maybe you should reflect on that. No, he doesn't. Instead he goes into like a pissing match with other billionaires, and then he goes on fucking Twitter to argue with the guy in charge of the food program and and try to make him look like a bitch, just to win like an argument, just to be like the debate lord, right?
Yeah,
and then you have like tens, and then you have a million fans that just view this as like a schoolhouse clique. Like he's the most popular guy, and they just had a fucking debate that he won, and he looks so cool owning the guy in charge of the World Food Program. And furthermore, the guy in charge of the World Food Program is so fucking far up his ass in like these fucking this lib brain dumbass fucking way of thinking, that he's like, oh, this is a great opportunity to fucking spread awareness, and let's have a conversation, engage on this matter with the Bond villain, and yeah, sure, I'll get on my knees. You want me to give you proof that this amount of funding would be beneficial to feed poor people? Yeah, here, let me show you the documents. Oh, you still... Oh, you still say that I'm a piece of shit? Well, thank you for giving me the time to have this conversation.
I don't think he was getting on his knees by doing that. I think he was just fighting fire with fire. Like basically, like here, this arrogant dumbass is telling him that, oh, back your plan up with proof and with a solid plan, and I'll give you the money. And then he's like, okay, fine, here it is. Like, I don't think that's him going on his knees. I think that's him saying.
The whole thing was he was never going to give the money anyways. Like,
oh, he's never going to give the money. That's straight up. That was from day one. From this, like, there was no inkling of him ever giving the money. Even if the plan is 100%, he's going to find some way to say that it's not 100% because it doesn't get rid of world hunger forever. It only gets rid of world hunger for the next decade or something, or some bullshit like that. And it's these stupid reasons that they find to justify their ego and that's what lets them sleep at night. It's like, oh well, he didn't come up with a plan for ending world hunger completely, so why should I give him the money? He did come up with a plan for ending world hunger for, say, a decade, but I'm not going to give him the money for that. Like, that's bullshit. Whatever you can do to help humanity, why not do it? Especially if you're disgustingly rich. Like, if he was worth 2 billion and we're like trying to take half of that away from him for welfare programs, then okay, fine. The dude's worth like $250 billion, like $250 billion. He can part with whatever, 6 billion.
6 billion, yeah.
Without like he could part with it without even giving it a second thought. That's like someone donating $50 to charity, like on our level. Like for him, that's like nothing.
Chump change. Yeah. It's like like you said, I see it as like a publicity stunt,
That's all it was. Exactly.
Yeah, like you know how like if you're into like stocks and stuff, right? Like people will scout, like they'll scout out for when Elon is gonna post or tweet something stupid, because once he does, his stocks drop like crazy, and then once it does, then people will buy, right? So that's how he makes his money. He says something stupid and he's rich again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I mean,
he doesn't have to he doesn't have to fucking put calls on any kind of stock movements or whatever. Like those guys are at the point where they just do things just because they could. Like these guys, if they wanted to actually do Squid Game, they could do Squid Game.
Even with people dying.
Yeah, like full on Squid Game, full on people dying Squid Game. Not like
get away with murder.
Yeah.
Quite
Bezos,
literally, yes.
Bezos' conditions in the Amazon warehouses is pretty much Squid Game. Like having to 18-hour shifts and having to piss in bottles because you can't. You're timed, and every action you take is timed for how long it takes.
Because there's
like
no winner.
There's no winner.
Yeah, exactly. Like at least at the end of Squid Game, you're like, if I make it through this, I get, I'm set for life. They're like, oh, if I make it through, if I make it through this, Bezos makes another $1 billion, and I'm still working for $10 an hour or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Like, there's no win in this case.
Yeah.
I mean, and the same thing with like so many issues have come out of like, even Elon's like factories, like, or plants for Tesla and all that. Like, there's been issues there too. So
I mean, like this. I mean, right now, if you still have if you have millions of people just fucking standing for you and all diehard fans of you as the quadruple near trillion billionaire, and basically viewing you as like a near religious figure, right now we're still fucked. Like that's what I mean. Like, I think one of the signs that you'll see when people would start to actually be able to begin to like coordinate or mobilize or actually do something to fix some very existential threats that you face is when they lose millions of fans. Like, there's nobody that will buy their shit, like take their shit at face value anymore. These people, right? These fucking charlatans and fucking jokers, right? Like, one day when the majority of the world just realizes it, like what many people sort of come to realize, that hey, these guys are actually pieces of shit. Let's not give them attention, and that's in fact, let's get them to actually fucking toe the line and either contribute or fucking, you know what? No, don't even give them the choice. Everybody has to contribute anyways, right? Get them all. Everybody has to contribute, no exceptions, especially them. Then I will say, you know what? We might survive. We might not be extinct after fucking another century or two. At that point, I will have optimism. But right now, we still have these fuckers just getting like legions of fans, chanting their names, with hysterical glee, and reverence. And if we're still in the middle of that, yeah, we have no fucking chance for anything else. You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if the news is not dominated by that, and instead it's dominated by fucking, you know, Orville Redenbacher shooting up people. You know we're not there yet. You know we're still living in the fucking circuits. The show's not done.
Do we live in the worst timeline?
It's, you know what, at the end of it, when people, if we, assuming we survive, and it's like 1,000 years in the future, and they appraise this moment of history, I think this will be one of those things where it'll be worse than like the Gilded Age. It'll be like it'll be like a dark age, even though like we're so like technologically advanced right now. Yeah, I think it would be viewed as one of those really dark ages.
Yeah, it would be dark. It is a dark age if you look at, if you think of the welfare of humanity being priority number one, then it is a dark age because that's not happening.
No, and
Like
it would
every
and it would be like one of those it would be the same feeling you get when you know, like when you read about you know, the days when Rome was just about to get wrecked, and then you still had people just basically having orgies and feasts, and this going just maximum gluttony, right? You know, at the time where like everything was just coming apart and shit. Like that's like what we're at right now.
that is where, I mean, that is where we are at now. Any civilization, major civilization of the past was undone by itself, like by the decadence and debauchery and that they achieve by, you know, towards the end of that particular civilization, and that's pretty much where we're headed right now, where everybody's in it for themselves, and the big guys just keep getting bigger and richer and freaking having, I mean, what's next after charging 28 million to fly to space? Like you can how much more decadent can you get than that? So I mean, if you look at it in terms of the life cycle of a civilization, we're kind of at the end of our life cycle.
Well, that was uplifting. Just the kind of podcast I thought we'd have on both our returns to the podcast after months.
I don't know. Maybe that was a little bit too dark. Yeah.
No, it's all good.
But I mean,
it's all expected.
If you look at any major civilization, they were all undone by themselves, by their own.
Yeah, like once you've it's one of those things where once you've become too big to fail, when you do fail, it will be because of you.
Yeah.
It will. It's not going to be from the outside. It's going to be just implosion from the end.
From the inside.
Yeah. But like the worst part is just knowing about it, because you can imagine, like, if you were the guy that was doing the big decadent bacchanal orgy right when everything is burning, you're going out with a good time. But if you're the guy, if you're us, that, you know, we don't have the fucking money to go out that way, and you're viewing everything as it happens in real time, you know, we are at the worst level to experience this. Elon Musk and Bezos, they're at the best. They have the best seats to enjoy the end.
That's a nice way to put it, yeah.
They could literally buy anything in the world. Wonder what that's like.
Well, you go to space. you probably organize like private hunt, like man-hunting events as well on whatever secret island you own.
Why do you think they want to go to Mars? So that they can
One of them must have done that, right?
Oh, there's tons. They'll, like, you know, like Epstein was a thing. They definitely have something like that. Like his island was the island of like, you know, fucking underage like fucking sex and all that shit. I'm pretty sure there's an island out there for like private
Manhunts?
undisclosed murders. Hunts.
Well, I mean, they could literally buy a country, so it's they could do whatever the hell they want.
Form their own government, yeah.
So
Yeah, I didn't mean to take it down a too dark path.
no,
but-
it's not you. It's always me.
That's like, but that's like the reality of things right now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, like it just boggles me to think like if it like if someone has 200 or 300 billion dollars, they can't be like, hey, it doesn't hurt me to, you know, even use 10 or 20% of that to take, not even in the world, just take care of your own country, like the people
Yeah.
in your own country. Like you can't do the whole world, okay? Maybe that's impossible. Maybe you don't want to do the whole world, but your own country, I mean, take care of poverty and homelessness and veteran issues in your own country. I mean,
Mhm.
with 10% of your wealth, like you'd be a hero, not just in your own demented mentality, but in real life.
Mhm.
True that. So let's finish up the thing with a little
The
treat.
thing you just sent?
A little treat.
Nice.
You
Okay.
recall when we started this whole thing, we did sometimes do some bits on
What
like
the heck?
weird news that we found around the world or whatever. So
Yeah.
I found this one, and you know, let's do a little bit of a classic sort of a classic retro bit, and let's talk about this next thing. That a teen gets USB cable stuck in penis in backfired attempt to measure length. And what I'm looking at right now is an X-ray picture of a entire USB cable.
I
in
don't
some
understand.
dude's balls.
I really don't understand. I'm very scared.
Yeah, like what's with that
So
How?
it says here.
What?
like
No.
Let us
lump
let
of
us let us
wire?
let us go deeper into this lore. All right. UK teen needed emergency surgery after he attempted to measure his penis length by inserting a USB cable into his urethra.
Why? Just measure it with a
Yeah,
tape measure or something.
just get a ruler. Yeah.
Oh man, there's a picture of the USB cable afterwards when they extract it.
Oh God, I don't
Oh
want to see
no.
that.
So
Oh
yeah.
God, there's so
Why
much
would
blood.
why is this your go-to way to measure? I don't understand.
So
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
what?
wait. Why is one end like kind of
Oh
wrapped?
my god, that is brutal. Oh Jesus.
Oh God.
No.
So this is amazing if you really think about it, right? Like
How-
to the normal person, you would cringe, you would visibly like shirk at putting anything through your dick hole. This guy
Yes.
put an entire USB, like including the USB head.
Yeah,
USB.
why? I
This
don't
is-
understand that.
Yeah, and keep in mind this is a USB A end to
That's
a
a
micro.
wide tip.
Yeah, like a micro. This is a USB A end, and then micro USB on the other end. It looks like.
Seems like
Dude,
it.
that
And not only that, the end of it, it's still bundled up in like a mass
Yeah.
of wires. Like the line is like
Like-
bundled up into this thick wad at one end as well.
yeah, like how does this? How did this 15-year-old shove that bundle down his urethra without feeling pain?
This
Like,
is this is amazing.
yeah.
Okay, I've only read bits of it, but okay, the one sentence starts: the plugged up boy's family transported him to the hospital after he began urinating blood. Like, did they know about it before he tried to pee?
Like,
And just like, oh, it's no big deal. He doesn't even go to the hospital.
like,
But once you pee blood, that's the line.
like at the end of this, at the end of doing this, his dick hole must have been like the size of a fucking fist. And then he's just going about his day, and it's like, oh, all right, that's normal. I'm gonna go try to take a piss now, and then and then it doesn't go well. he goes downstairs to his parents, like, I might have to go to the hospital. I've been peeing blood. I imagine that the conversation didn't even go like, oh fuck, I just put an entire USB line into my dick. It was more like, Dad, can I go to the hospital? I'm not feeling well. I'm peeing a little bit of blood. And the parents are like, oh, that may be cause for concern. And then later on, when they find out that he just basically shoved like the entire line with the wide USB A tip, the head.
He must have been on drugs, right? He had to be.
There's no way a normal person would do that. And oh my,
no way.
No way. I'm reading this article like a little further down. The procedure is pretty gnarly too. Like they're saying subsequent X-rays revealed that there was veritable Gordian knot of USB wire inside the teenager, which required surgeons to make an incision in the region between his genitals and anus to yank it out.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
This is an invasive surgery.
I still don't understand how that's his go-to way to measure. That must be an excuse.
I don't understand how he still got it in there that much.
I like how that would be his excuse. I like how that's the excuse that he came out with. Why did you do this? To measure.
Like,
that's the least embarrassing thing I can think of.
Yeah.
I wanted to do like all the other kids do, and they all measure their dicks, so I wanted to measure mine as well. And then, if you're, I imagine if I was a mom, I'd be like, oh yeah, did you put markings on it? Did you? At the very least, before you shove that inside.
But it's a wire. It's not even like, how do you? He had to. It'd be like difficult to just keep shoving it in. I don't know.
Imagine if this was actually a protest that his parents didn't buy him the tape measure that he wanted.
Oh God. Yeah, that'll show him.
I'm sure he could have just like raided his dad's toolbox and found one. Without even asking.
Well, obviously not, Joseph. He stuck an entire USB line into
it.
That doesn't sound like like a kid with the option of raiding his dad's toolbox.
What baffles me is like, how did he get the USB-A end in without feeling pain? And what was he thinking? Was he like, oh, I got the hardest part in, might as well just push the rest of the cable in?
Yes, this would be the thing.
There's got to be drugs involved.
This would be the thing that Sherlock Holmes would need to solve. Like, that would be the most pressing question.
This is a case Sherlock Holmes wouldn't want to take on.
And this would be the exact case he would want.
He's going to nope out of it. It's like, nope, walk away.
Or be like, you know what, Watson, cancel my afternoon.
Watson, you're the doctor. You handle this one.
Oh, we're going here right away.
Yeah, because this patient, so they're saying this kid he's healthy and has no history of mental health disorders.
I disagree. Test them again.
Now.
So they're saying like it could be a bizarre attempt at sexual gratification.
How is that gratifying at all? Well, I guess I'm not gonna kink shame him, but he has to be shamed some way. That's not normal.
Yeah, at this point, you can safely say, like, yes, you can shame him for this kink, if this was a kink.
Well, I like, some people have that catheter kink or whatever the hell you would call it, but that's why a wire?
Yeah, I'm sure that catheter kink is probably like, I don't know. I'm sure like they're pretty lubed up and not the size of a USB-A head.
There's no amount of lube that you could put on this to actually stick this through your dick hole.
No.
Dear God.
Oh my God, that's like tearing your dick hole open.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
This was coming on here was a mistake.
This sounds like an upcoming Black Mirror episode or something like that.
Black Mirror ain't got nothing on this.
Oh God, the worst thing Black Mirror had was like the prime minister that had to have sex with a pig. This is way worse.
How did you find this?
Oh, this is I don't know.
Or just Reddit?
It ended
I'm
up
sure
on my
Reddit.
desk.
Printed out in.
A viewer sent it to him. That's it.
Zinzin has a Google search set up for anything with dick, USB
Dicks.
cord, and
Yeah.
and insertion.
This was one of those
Better
things where
bookmark.
it came. I thought it was one of those ads for a second. Yeah, you know, you sometimes you get an ad. It's like it's one of those ad reads. No, yeah, it would be like one of those ad reads at the end of the article. It'd be like, you won't believe what they found after they, looked under his pants or some shit like that. And then usually it'll be like some fucked up picture of whatever. It's just for clickbait, right? This thing turned out to be actually real.
I don't know if that's a good thing. This seems like I'd rather get a scammy ad.
And yeah, well, that's why I totally clicked onto him. Like, this is like from the New York Post.
Yeah, this is. Yeah. Totes.
So now that means that USB cord manufacturers will have to write on the packaging, do not insert up your dick. Not for
Not to
insertion.
be used as a dick measuring device.
Or maybe you'll see like USB cables with like the measuring markings on them now. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I hope
that's
not.
that's terrible.
You should sell that.
Yeah, it's another thing to check off for what this cable can do.
I feel like this will be one of the great mysteries. Too bad it's I think more or less it'll be forgotten, but it would be a more confounding mystery than most of the mysteries you get in human history. This beats the Bermuda Triangle. This beats Bigfoot. This beats JFK and the second shooter on the fucking grassy knoll. By far, because with all those conspiracies, at least you can get something that's coherent. This, I'm looking at the real story of this, and nothing about this is coherent at all.
They have doctors that looked at it and everything, and all the people that witnessed it are alive, so you could ask questions, but there's still no answers.
You would not be able to answer. Like, how did he even get it into him? Why did he want to do it? You know? What?
Yeah, the why is probably the biggest one for me.
The how and the why.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, considering like what an average USB cable is, what, 4 feet?
Before
4 feet in length.
Before this came out, I would have never thought. I thought this would be impossible to do.
This can't be a dare. Who would even take this?
No, exactly. That's what makes this so like. Why is it? This is so intriguing because like the reasons.
It's got to be drugs. My money's on drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Drugs.
What?
Like there's got to be something he took to numb that pain.
And to keep going, because it's not like it's like it's a one thing. It's not like you're dropping your fucking keys down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys think
he's sitting there threading it into himself?
Do you think that while he was threading it in and he got all of it in, he's like, "Holy shit, my dick is 4 feet long"? No way. Do you think he actually thought that?
That's the only reason he kept going. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to brag about this.
Like, hey,
this
guys,
is my golden moment, guys.
I got a 4-foot dick.
Dude, why is it so bloody?
And then when I saw the X-ray picture at first, I thought it was like one of those things where they just like photoshopped a USB overlaying like an X-ray of a pelvis.
Yeah, I thought like
when we got down to the picture, that was the actual cable.
Well, when you sent it and it's just the picture, I thought he like put it up his ass or something. Because like, how else would he get there? You know, in the X-ray picture.
I think putting up in his ass would probably be too easy.
Yeah, imagine.
Oh yeah, that's definitely easier.
Imagine being like,
but even then, it's still a wire, so you'd have to keep like pushing it in. Like,
he wanted a challenge.
He wanted it.
Yeah, exactly. We're at the stage where we're like, I would rather he put it in his ass than what he actually did.
I mean,
Man, I feel bad for the parents. Imagine having to deal with that. It's like, this is your kid.
15
He's
years
this
old, yeah.
stupid. And
If this
he's
kid-
had no mental issues. Like, that's your kid, normal.
If this kid's a normal kid, then this is gonna haunt him for like he'll be like 85 and he'll be like, why the fuck did I do that?
Imagine if they printed his name in the articles.
Oh man. This is the kind of article that they need to come back to when he does turn 18 and print it with his name.
If he ever gets married, this is what they show at the reception.
I feel like this should be like an art piece at the Louvre. just put it up.
It's as striking as some pieces of work of art. Yeah.
It's better than the banana taped to the wall.
Better? That's arguable. But,
Yeah, I don't know if it's better.
In terms of artistic license, I guess.
it speaks a louder message.
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh man,
Are you guys all still staring at the picture?
it's
'Cause I
still
can't.
up for some reason.
No,
I can't.
I'm reading the article, but yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's gruesome.
I prepared. Yes, exactly. So this was my present to you, Joe, as your first
As a fan.
guest appearance.
Oh, thank you.
First and last.
In fact,
No, well,
we have the USB
I-
ready for you to also
I've known
go through.
I've known Zinzin long enough to I'm not like, I don't know, I guess I'm used to hearing these things, but that X-ray and then seeing the actual extracted USB cable, oh man.
Did you read? Did you read all the
Sorry?
way to the? Did you read all the way to the end where the last paragraph says, "Experts have also blamed sounding, a strange proclivity
Yeah.
defined by inserting foreign bodies in one's urethra. Last month, a Randy, Michigan man was left struggling to pee after he got 6 kidney beans lodged in his urethra during a bizarre attempt at sexual gratification."
No, you pee out kidney stones. You don't insert kidney beans.
This guy was
Oh
like,
dude, if you click that link,
Nope.
you
Nope.
see it's not bad. You only see like the 5 kidney beans that he put in.
oh yeah.
One of them looks like it's been partially eaten.
You got hungry partway
Dissolved.
through.
What the hell?
Oh, if you go even further, you could get a picture of it in the urethra.
Oh, the X-rays, yeah.
Not the X-ray. It's like the urethra camera.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't scroll far enough, but oh my God.
This guy was just like sitting there loading it, like he was like loading bullets into like a magazine, just one at a time.
Oh my!
Just
If you
popping
read
it
the,
in. This was like putting change in one of those public payphones, just one quarter at a time.
dude,
Oh,
this
God.
this is a messed up rabbit hole. If you read the last paragraph in this article, it says experts have also blamed sounding, a bizarre sexual proclivity defined by sticking foreign bodies in one's urethra. In October 2019, a man in Saudi Arabia made the world wince after revealing that he'd harbored tweezers in his urethra for 4 years.
Oh yo, like these guys.
Oh,
This
my.
guy's got a good X-ray too. Oh look, and then I love how these articles always go to like a past story. Too. For the Saudi guy with the tweezers in his dick. At the
Oh,
end,
yeah.
it's like last year, an Indian boy made headlines after doctors found a pen tip stuck inside his penis, which caused
I already lost faith in
several
humanity, but
urinary tract infections.
Oh, this is a messed up rabbit hole to be going down,
I
man.
don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Oh man, it keeps on
The
going.
hole's probably a urethra.
So for the Indian kids one, at the end of the end, this was earlier this month. We reported on how doctors had to invent a new tool to remove a 23-inch sex toy from a man's rectum after it got stuck for 24 hours, And another man in a separate case perforated his bowel after he lost control of a 30-inch bendy sex toy.
Oh my god. At least it changed orifices.
Yeah, these ones are more conventional.
Oh my God! Like, a 30-inch sex toy is huge.
It's 2.5 feet.
Even the doctor said it's enormous. Oh my God!
I like how the New
He's
Yorker
He was 53 years old.
I like how the New York Post just keeps on giving you like these little gingerbread these little cookie trails for you to follow the other stories.
I hope none of you get too curious going in down reading about all those different cases.
No, I closed the web browser. I'm done.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
that's enough sticking things down your dick hole for today, or I guess for a lifetime.
Forever,
Yeah,
and ever,
yeah,
for
a
10
lifetime. Yeah.
This podcast is so many regrets.
Well, the name verbal laxative really fits. Very fitting.
Jesus. It's so much more tame than this what we've been talking about.
Would you rather
Who would have thought?
Rather we change it to USB and urethra?
Hell no. I hope I hope no one would click on a link that has that name. A podcast titled that should not get any listens.
Should just be an instant ban if there's a name like that.
Yeah, they just and once you try to register that name,
Yeah,
you should just get like notifications like, well, what is wrong with you?
yeah. We're not going to delete your account. We're just going to ban you for thinking of that.
Would it be too
Yeah,
much of a
rethink your life decisions, maybe.
Would it be
Yeah.
too much of a hassle if we change our name to that? You think it would be like just an email to like the hosting site?
Change your name to what?
No, because we'd have to change the name on all the different sites like YouTube and stuff. It's a huge hassle, so no one should really look into that at all.
You think it'd be worth it?
Not at all. What? Why would you even ask that question? It's very obvious that's not.
Would you want to bankroll this project?
No, I'm like, yeah, I'm pulling out.
you wanna take point on this, Jason?
I'm out. I'm not even gonna renew my credit card information on the thing. This is the end. Thanks for listening to the last episode. If this ever airs. If there's a name change then to that specifically, then I'm out.
Broken.
We could rename it to something, with an actual good name.
All right. Well, we could think about suggestions, but I think this will be the default. If we can't think of anything. The default isn't even verbal laxative. The default is USB and urethra.
Verbal laxative it should be a front runner to that. Even people, when they did those contests, like, oh, fans can name this new Doritos flavor or whatever. None of the names that they came up with were as bad as that. Sure, there was like names for like Nazis and stuff like that, but that's not as bad.
As USB and urethra.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's terrible, yeah.
Is that actually our last topic, though?
Let's not have that as our last topic.
Ever.
All right, man. Let's bring up a closer. Anybody got one?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm excited for the Wheel of Time TV series.
Ooh, yeah, it's coming out basically tomorrow.
Did they come out with a trailer or something?
They did
Yeah,
have new
yeah, there's a
trailers.
trailer.
Wait, the show comes out tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
That soon? I thought it was later on.
No.
Is this episodic or a whole thing at once?
I'm not sure. I hope it's the whole thing at once so I can binge it, but I have a feeling it might be
I think they're
episodic.
releasing, from what I heard, they're releasing 3 episodes on the first day and then weekly.
Oh, then,
for each
yeah.
episode.
Then it'll be weekly, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of shows have been doing that for a while now, just so like people get hooked. They binge the first few episodes and then they're hooked.
Yeah.
Analytic driven. Anyways, yes, I will for sure be tuning in on to that. I haven't read any reviews. I'm just going in there. I'm doing the cannonball. I'm not caring how deep the pool is.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from any early reviews and stuff too, because I just want to watch it for myself.
Yeah, I bet even if it's like poor reviews, you're probably still gonna watch it, right?
Yeah, I'm still gonna watch it regardless of what the reviews say.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just hoping that it's just not like it won't repulse you. Like that's what I hope. Like like I'm just by virtue of reading the books, we already have a stake in hoping that it'll be good, like a fan's perspective of a stake.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like if this turns out, if this was like a Game of Thrones season 8 sort of deal, then I think there should be executions.
Executions.
I don't think it's gonna be like that. The only thing I'm worried about is how much stuff they're gonna cut, because it's like 14 books, 15 if you include the prequel, and there's no way they're gonna do like 15 seasons. So are they gonna cut it down to like because what they're saying about the first season is that it covers book 1, some of book 2, and even like plot lines from book 3. So
well, what did we say before? In our episode, I think we gave some of our takes for what they could cut. Like they could have cut, in the middle of the books, there's a little bit of a grind. They could probably cut some of the, like the lead up
filler
I guess, in there. Yeah.
yeah,
They could probably cut even like Slayer, right? They could merge it into that other girl, Mohidian or whoever, instead have her fulfill that role instead.
and all of book 9 could be covered in like a 2-minute scene at the beginning of one episode, or like book 9 doesn't need its own season or even its own episode, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be kind of a refresher for me as well, because I've forgotten quite a bit that happened after I just fucking bum rushed all 14 books. It's been like a couple years now, so it will be a refresher for me too. There's some things that I've forgotten about, and I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it to be one of those things where I'm not gonna treat it like, oh, this was different from the book. Oh, well, or I'll probably notice them, but I won't be like, oh, I can't believe they didn't include this part that was in the books. I'm already like expecting they're not going to, and plus I don't remember some of the details anyways, right? I'm not like one of the hardcore Wheel of Time, like really hardcore, like can know it like the back of your hand sort of.
So you're not gonna be like one of those actually guys.
Actually, like if you want to get like fucking like Easter eggs and shit, those people are like the best ones to get from those. They live for that shit. But yeah, I'm not gonna be one of the actually guys.
Those people that like watch trailers 85 times to find every single Easter egg.
Yeah, the analysis of the movie trailer, the analysis of I'm not I wouldn't do that. But I am interested to see, like, I think from what it looks like, they're getting who's the lead girl again? The woman who's playing Moraine. What's her name?
Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund Pike. Yes, I think she's gonna be like one of the main drivers in the first, for this season for sure, and for the shows. I think she's gonna be one of the main drivers.
Yeah, I think with the first season there's gonna be a lot of flashbacks to the prequel as well.
You think so?
I have a feeling, like at least in the first couple of seasons, I think that's how they're gonna bring in the prequel book, by maybe just most of it being like flashbacks for the first couple of seasons.
I think with shows like these, the rhythm usually goes like, they won't show. I think you're right, but I don't think they're gonna show it within the first 3 episodes that they air on opening day. I think it'll be like, if they do flashbacks when they want to do some sort of exploration of like Moraine's like origin stories, Moraine and Lan's origin stories, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I think it'll be down the line. It may even be like a season 2 sort of deal.
Oh yeah, it'll be like once we get to know the characters, they'll start fleshing her out, right? But I'm pretty sure they're gonna cover it within the first couple of seasons. Like they might start doing it in the middle of the first season and then all of season 2 or something like that. But that's what I think. I don't know.
What do you feel about like this? We basically know the cast for like the first season now, and we kind of have an idea of like what kind of, I guess in a way we have an inkling of what kind of story they want to drive. You can sort of see some of the changes as well. Like what do you think about it?
Oh, far from the trailer, I'm okay with it. I don't think they've done anything crazy in terms of changes and stuff like that. I
heard they changed the guy that was going to play Matt in the next season.
Yeah, apparently he's not coming back for season 2. They're gonna have to recast him, which is kind of a bummer because then, the whole time I'm gonna be watching season 1, I'm gonna know that this is not really Matt because he's gonna be recast in season 2. So
is there a reason they did that?
They didn't explain. It was just like a short article saying, season or the actor for Matt will be recast for season 2.
Is he an asshole or something?
Don't know.
I don't know.
It's like it's very suspect.
I mean, for some people, it could be just like the filming conditions, because like a lot doing this kind of stuff, you're filming on location in weird places and you're away from family. It could be something as simple as that. Like even those with shows like Vikings and Game of Thrones, like you're filming in the middle of Ireland or Iceland and stuff like that, and it could be something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, these guys are not well-known actors, right? This is like probably the biggest break they've gotten. So it's like if you're gonna leave like that abruptly after like this big, huge role after just one season, it's usually like it's either you're gonna get kicked off or there's something serious happening.
Yeah,
that guy's like that he has to leave. So it's either way, it doesn't sound like something good.
Yeah, either way, like either he had something big happen in his life that he needs to leave and he can't, and like, because you wouldn't give something like this up when you're like not that big a name of an actor yet. So, or he did something or said something or was just like a complete ass on set or something like that, but they haven't said anything. It was just a little short blurb of an article a couple of months back that he won't be coming back for season 2, and they're gonna have to recast the role for season 2. But yeah, that's one thing that kind of bugs me. But other than that, like the actor in the trailer seems to fit the Matt persona. So either they find somebody else just like that. But I mean, that's just going off the trailer. So
Steve Buscemi will be the new guy.
He's a pretty good actor.
I would not want him to be Matt. Please God.
No. He could be like someone like Pata and Fane or something like that.
Yeah, no, he could be one of those freaks. Yeah, he could be...
Whoa, freaks.
What else? What else would you call Pata and Fane?
I don't know. I haven't read the books or anything. I don't know who they are.
Yeah, Joe, have you read the books?
I've only just started the first book.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You might as well just watch the thing.
I'm gonna watch. Yeah, but I mean, so far so good. They are long. Oh, don't get me wrong. They're really long books.
Yeah, man.
But have you read them all?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He read them fast. It was like it took you. It seemed like you read some in like a matter of days.
Yeah, it was like almost. At some days it was almost like nonstop reading. Some of the books were pretty good, and it just so coincided. I had nothing else to do during those times.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, oh, you work from home like the whole time, right, Zinzin?
No, that was back then when COVID wasn't here yet.
Oh, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, if you get into the books, the first I would say 4 or 5 are like a thrill to read, at least I think.
Yeah, in the middle it gets a little bit grindy on some books, like 9, 9, 10 or something like that.
If I'm being honest, I liked all the books all the way up to book 7. 8 was kind of slow, but then towards the end it got good, so I forgive it for being a little bit slow. But 9, if I have any issues with a book, if I have any issues with the series, it would be book 9 being.
It's not like it sucked. Like it was still decent enough for you to actually keep reading, but it's just like it's just less happening than the previous books. Like the tempo changes, right? And then it does pick up in a big way after that.
Yeah,
it is building up. Like the whole time you're reading it, it is like it makes sure that you don't forget that it is building up to something.
Yeah. And then like from book 10 onwards, it's back to full speed. Like there's no issues with it, I think. It's just book 9 that kind of slow. And I wouldn't say I hate it. I would just say it slows down.
Yeah, it's just
like
it's much more
the story
slower pace.
The story goes from a decent pace to like pretty much a standstill in book 9. And then it kind of picks up right again after. But even the author himself said that book 9 was like an experiment, and he
was just like, fuck it, I'll do it.
It didn't go the way he thought it was, I guess. But book 10 and onwards is like it's awesome. Like there's some scenes in especially book 11 that book 10 is okay, and then book 11 is when it goes back to like true form. Book 11 is Knife of Dreams. That one, there's some good scenes in that.
So I wanted to ask you this because I think you remember a lot of these things better than I do about these about the books, about the series. I saw in the trailer that they've already have scenes shot with the red Aja, but I can't remember of them being of any prominence in the first book. I don't know. Do you remember?
Yeah, there is some prominence. Leandrin is in the first couple of books, right?
Is she in book 1 though? I can't remember that part.
I think she gets introduced in book 1 because the girls make it to
the place.
I can't remember. No, I can't remember if the girls make it to Tar Valon in the first book or in the second book now. I think they make it to. Yeah, they make it to. I'm shady on some of the details too.
That's what I'm blurry about as well. Like,
yeah,
I have missing spots in the memories of.
If she doesn't show up in book 1, she definitely shows up in book 2, and they said that season 1 covers book 1 and 2. So
okay.
It makes sense that she'd be there.
Okay, I for a second my mistake. I thought it was only covering book 1. I mean, like, I think the same shit is just gonna be in the beginning episodes where like Trollocs and Myrdrills will be like, fucking they'll hype them up so much. They're gonna be like, the scariest things or the toughest things that they will introduce, and then later on they'll just be complete like nothing garbage. Like, oh, Rafflecopter, these guys are so easy to stop. Like the power creep will be there eventually, but in the beginning episodes you're gonna see lots of Trollocs and Myrdrills just like wrecking shit up, and
because they are the big bad bosses for the first few books, and then once things start to happen, then they kind of aren't that major anymore, I guess, and then other factors
there's just
become
jokes after.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, you know what, if you were looking at this from the point of view of like production or whatever, you'd probably front a lot of the money for these beginning episodes just to make the scenes with the Trollocs and the Myrdrills work, right? I think those would be like probably one of the more intensive scenes, because later on when you get to the like the Forsaken and stuff, there you can get human actors, right? You just cast people that can also carry the scene,
and scare the shit out of you,
right? But and for this part, like, you're not gonna get anyway. You're not gonna get much character acting from fucking Trollocs. You got that's all. You just have to you have to go balls to the wall with CGI.
No, but if they go the Uruk-hai route with like in Lord of the Rings, with the Uruk-hai, like those are mostly actors with a lot of prosthetics and stuff. And they did a decent job. The Trollocs and the Mairdral in the trailer, they look good. I mean, they look pretty good.
I'm looking forward.
I'm
hoping. Yeah, they look. The scenes look pretty polished. Hopefully, it will be to our expectations. I'm hoping like the new actors, the actors that they got for playing everybody else. I hope that they can act. That's what I hope.
The one issue I have with the actors is the actor who plays Rand is not the tallest, and that kind of, because in the books it's like his stature is like kind of the thing that makes him, right? Like he's supposed to be he's the tallest of everybody he runs into. He's a head taller than pretty much everybody he runs into. You can find him in a crowd easily because of his height and because of his hair and his eye color and all that. Which I guess the hair and eye color they got right, but his height.
Can't do anything about the height.
No, I'm like, yeah, I know. Maybe I guess he was the best in terms of acting skills.
Yeah, they could do the whole Hobbit effect to make him seem taller. But yeah. Remember our last episode? I had my friend James on. He brought that exact same thing up, and this also irked him. And he was like, "Why the fuck did they not cast Rand to be like the tallest motherfucker there?"
He's supposed to be towering above even Perrin, and Perrin's a huge guy.
See, that's what I forgot. I was like, oh, isn't it? Wait, I totally gaslit myself. I was like, wait, isn't Perrin taller? And then I was corrected. Like, no, actually, Rand is supposed to be fucking taller.
Perrin is tall, but Rand is still, I can't remember how much taller, but taller than him, at least by I would say a good 2 or 3 inches. But Perrin is wider. Like Perrin's built like a bull, kind of. You know.
Well, that just means Rand is noticeably like fucking Yao Ming tall or something.
Yeah.
Because Perrin's already a big guy, and if he's taller than Perrin, and then you compare him with everybody else in the Three Rivers, like
2 Rivers.
Or sorry, 2 Rivers. Fuck.
You can't just go adding another river, dude.
I'm losing it, man.
Yeah, happens to all of us.
I'm losing it. The 5 Rivers. Yeah, so like he has to be tall. So you just imagine everybody else if they're like normal size in the 6 rivers. He has to be taller than all of them, right? Like, fucking 7 Rivers is a small town.
And like so far out of the casting, that's the only thing that kind of bugged me. But other than that, like I think it's good. I think everything is good. It's just they could have found a guy, or they should have found a Perrin who was shorter than the guy they got for Rand, but
a shorter Perrin, a taller Rand.
Yeah, or a taller Rand.
All right, well, we'll see tomorrow, and then maybe
hopefully it's good.
Anybody that has Amazon Prime can also watch it and give Bezos more money.
I mean, he needs it. He's starving out there.
He needs to send another rocket.
Yeah.
And then, we should talk about Dune in one of these episodes.
I'll try and watch it sometime soon, hopefully.
Your assignment.
That's my assignment.
Yeah, after you watch the episodes of Wheel of Time.
Yeah, it sucks in this case because I haven't even read the book for Dune. If I'd read the book, I probably would have still been like, let's go for it. But, or you guys can do it without me, whoever's watched it.
But, Habibi, what is the meaning of life if you're not there?
Oh, Habibi.
All right. Shall we call it a day?
Yes. I think that was a good first practice. We'll do the actual recording sometime after.
For what?
I thought this was like a rehearsal kind of deal.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Jesus.
No, this wasn't the rehearsal. Zinzin didn't tell you, but this one's being live streamed.
What? I wasn't told.
What
about all that crap, the urethra stuff? You think that's gonna make it on air?
Yes.
Oh dear God.
Just look at look, you guys got like 500,000 subscribers already. Just from that.
That'd be sick. I would
Wait,
do.
how much?
I would change. I would change our name to USB and Urethra if we got 500,000 followers.
If you got 500K subscribers from one topic, urethra.
We're changing it.
That already. I think the world record's like it's like 100-something thousand.
Something like that. Yeah.
Currently, the highest for females is 56,000. I only know that because I've had that stream on right now because it's the current record. Anyways, how do we wrap up the show? I don't remember how this happens.
Right,
Got the stream going, so
yeah, no, he's already got the stream going. He's ready. His pants are already off. We should
Can't
let him do his business.
The internet has spoiled me. I need more than this.
Yeah, imagine you also jerk it off when we are recording as well. Just gets you off.
And I just leave myself unmuted during that. Adds to it.
You have left yourself muted on some parts. It all
That was when I was
out.
eating, but
Right, eating, not slapping
Right.
your meat.
The hell? That's not even a term.
That's just.
How do we end this?
How do you guys normally close?
I haven't been on here for months.
I don't know. I think Jason like
too.
moans or orgasms, and then we just kind of like end it.
Everyone just dips after.
Yeah, on air.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Verbal Laxative. The end. That's it.
All right.
Thanks,
Sounds
Joe, for
good.
coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks,
It's
Joe.
nice to meet one of our listeners.
Or actually, I should say,
Yeah.
welcome, Joe, for coming on. For a 40 great
One of the several thousands that applied to be on this show.
Yes, thank you. I had fun. No, it was good. It was good.
It's
It
not
was good. Good entertainment.
Honestly, though, hopefully you did have a good time. And, you know what? Hopefully you'll be on another episode sometime.
Oh, I'd love to. Just let me know.
Yeah, if you watch Wheel of Time, then maybe you could pop in for that.
Yeah.
I'll start it tomorrow.
Or if you try to stick a USB through your dick and then see if it can be done. Yeah, we'll have you on next.
Yeah.
Update us.
Hard pass on the USB part.
Thank God.
Nothing's going near my dick hole.
All right.
There's no better words to end off on.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for
and-
listening again.
Yes, thank you for listening. And we all hope that nothing, too, will go near any of your dick holes. If you are male.
Yes.
What? He's
Including-
females that
Including
I don't
women.
think-
Yes, we hope that
Yeah.
everyone will stay virgin. Abstinent.
in your pee hole. Yeah, I hope so.
Oh man.
Can
All right.
Craig leave now? That's how I know
Reverse
it's over.
peeing. It's like Tenet, but instead of peeing out, the pee goes back into you.
In Soviet Russia.
That, you know what? That was one of the things I wanted to. I did openly wonder about in Tenet because, you know, everything's going backwards. So if you do have to take a leak, would it look like just pee just going back into your own dick? I don't know. Something to contemplate about. Maybe we'll talk about that next episode. All right.
Share our thoughts. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Like, comment,
All right.
subscribe.
Bye-bye.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, all that.
See you guys.
Bye.